what I've seen is when you have categories like pants, man, like you never buy the pants that you want to buy originally. That's why you go and try on 5 different pairs.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm looking at, prescription medications for my dog, I'm always going to buy only that product. So
Yeah.
it is, again, is dependent upon the industry. And that's actually what I built my next use case and case study on, is because of the fact that I now have actually a kind of a new tool to play with. And I'm just going to show that right now. So here's what's kind of cool. This actually goes towards this same exact topic that what we're talking about. If I'm in this client here and I'm in a Performance Max campaign, I can't add a negative keyword.
And now is this feed only Performance Max?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
There's feed only or non-feed. You can't add a negative keyword to the Performance Max campaign.
Only brand.
But yeah, you can add brand to it. Which that's nice. Like you can add.
Used to be able to talk to reps and do that though. I haven't had a need for it, but
yeah,
until doing that previously.
Until today. We have individual negative keywords by campaign. All right, so now we're getting somewhere. So
this is news.
This is news. This is new. This is not been.
I'm looking at. Oh, it hasn't been released yet. Okay.
Well, no, it's kind of been like teased and released in beta and that kind of stuff, and I'm access to the beta. But here's what's interesting about this. So this particular client is, pardon my French, this is all sorts of fucked up. Everyone knows probably this company here that I've worked with for many years. C-suite ended up being changed out. We left with the old C-suite. New C-suite came in, ran all PMax. That C-suite got fired. New C-suite came in. Old person that was still there was saying like, hey, can we bring back the original people? Because that was better then. So when I'm coming through and I'm saying this thing's all sorts of messed up. Like, I mean, single thing that you could think has gone wrong in a company, it has happened here. Got a report? No. Version tracking? What about your feed? Well, you don't know where it is. I mean, nothing makes sense. But they took all of our standard shopping, wiped it out, ran 100% PMax. The company's like, just cratering. Like, I mean, we were gone for 4 months after 4 years, and we were brought back, and the entire C-suite was fired. Like, that's how fast this thing moved.
So, I remember this account.
You got it exactly. So here's what's interesting, though, is I said they have a co-op ad spend, and that sometimes happens where the co-op ad spend is trying to sell a certain product and it sells other products.
Yeah.
Well, that's the kind of the same thing. So what our test is right now is
I'm so excited, John.
Right. We try to actually launch a feeder strategy in this, just at least start to push it in the right direction. But the bad part is you actually can't do that. Not when whoever also was there previously somehow just like wiped out all of the like hits where it's like, and we're like finally like, okay, like Ecom Priority, like getting it back in there. So we just got it back in this week. And I said, hey, you know what? Instead of launching feeder strategy, what if we tested individual product campaigns, feed only, negative keyword sculpting? Can we get this to push back into shopping? And also sculpt our negative keywords inside of Performance Max because
How would you sculpt it back into standard shopping?
Well, sculpt it back into good positive search terms. So I have right here, this is my first test. And again, this is just a small, literally, we're working on it this week. You're seeing it live in real time as you usually do, but that's what I like to share with you things. So this is a company called, or it is a product called Trifexis. The only time I sell a product in this account is if you go to the vet says, hey, go get Trifexis for your dog. Here's a prescription. You're like, okay, you cannot buy HeartGuard, NextGuard, Flea and Tick Medic. You cannot buy anything but Trifexis. It's illegal. Ha! Yes. All right. So then I'm looking here through the search terms, and I was like, okay. So I see again things like Bravecto, and I obviously see Trifexis, but I also see things that are like not Bravecto, but NextGuard, Simparica Trio, and they got AKC, and they got NextGuard alternatives and Canadian dog meds and NextGuard again. So this here, for example, is actually co-op ad spend that's coming from Elanco, the parent company, that says, here's $500 a day, go sell Trifexis. And Performance Max is like, you got it. Yeah. I'm sorry, did you say sell HeartGuard, or do you say sell anything else? So this is only one. There's a whole bunch of these things in here that are all sorts of messed up. So I'm actually going through and Bravecto, HeartGuard, NextGuard, Simparica.
Broad match too, so totally wiping it out.
Exactly. So I'm going to be doing a lot of broad negative keywords until every single thing that cannot be done inside this campaign, because I can't run feeder strategy. I need remarketing, but the ecom priority has literally been kicked in the proverbial nutsack. And I should have about 350,000 visitors a day. It's seeing like 17. Like it was, I was like, I launched feeder strategy, Performance Max, and standard shopping one of this. Performance Max would not run. We got it fixed. It was starting to run again, was going too slow. I said, we got to pivot because obviously we're spending $2 million a month. We cannot hang out here while Google relearns from people who decided to make a new website and didn't update tagging. So anyway, basically we're starting from scratch. So this is my test that you all are seeing is that I'm going to use native keywords inside of Performance Max and also building just a feed only to test this as well. Right now it's not in feed only. It's still on the right
previous.
Here. I have a feed only ready to go. And what I want to see is, can I use this to get me an amazing position and placement? Because right now it's got Performance Max placement. It's not showing up. Let me just see if I spell it right. Chewy, PetSmart. All right. No.
Nada.
No.
Probably.
Oh, look at this. So that's where. So what we're doing right now is a multi-prong. The crappy campaign that doesn't show up is still on. Can I feed only, new customer acquisition only, negative keyword the crap out of this thing, drop the T ROAS very, very low. It's at like 275 because, of course, the other agency was measuring an app. Shocker, which is why I don't fucking show up in Google and why it's like ROAS is like 400.
Drop marketing, subscription. I'll take the credit.
Yeah, it's like 500, 400 drop ad spend, 500, 400 drop ad spend, 500, 400 drop ad spend.
The death spiral.
Exactly. So they're chasing ROAS into the ground. I'm going to go the opposite way. I want like 20 ROAS. Like I want this thing to scale up. So that's my test is, can I now using negative keywords, which is always the issue of Performance Max, is I just don't wish we didn't show up for that in that campaign. If we can fix that, this is what I'm building up our walls, and all you out there too. We're building up all of our walls in case the day comes in where they say, you know what, standard shopping is no longer a thing.
Yeah.
We can wake up tomorrow. That could happen.
Yeah. Well, it seems like that it's going to be demand gen and PMax, and that's going to be the future, at least how it looks. But I am happy that negative. Did they say when the negatives are going to be coming out? Did they give any updates on that? We can give people? No, it's just only on certain campaigns.
It was more like a, hey, FYI, do you want to test this? I'm like, uh-huh.
Gotcha.
And so, so we have negative keywords in each individual Performance Max campaign. If I can feed only it, display remarketing is not really working too well right now anyway, because I don't have ecom priority for like the last 6 months. So we're kind of starting from scratch. The incentive that I have here is because, and I do have to jump because I know it's running out of time, but the incentive that I have here is that this particular company it has like no margin. So standard shopping just off the bat is going to be in a CPC too high for this to actually be fairly comfortable with. So if I can break some out with display remarketing, there is no really meta on this campaign. It's all like 100% Google. That's why when they change everything to PMax, companies start crashing. I can't change it back to standard shopping because we're not the competitive industry enough where I can just get like the one click because we don't even have the best pricing. So this is a very uphill battle. Like I have to go back and kind of play. It's a Captain Save a deal, so we're going to see what we can do. But yeah, you'll all be wrong for a ride. But that's a new feature in PMax that I don't know how many people really know about yet.
I don't think anyone knows about it, John. I think this was the first release of it.